Have you ever wondered why mixing red, blue, and green creates all other colors? At first, it might seem like some kind of magic, but there is actually science behind it, and it's pretty cool. Let's start with how we see colors. When light hits our eyes, it goes to the back part called the retina, which is like the screen in a projector. On the retina, there's a special part called the fovea. It's packed with tiny cells called photoreceptors. These photoreceptors are sensitive to light. But here's the interesting part. They are specifically tuned to three major colors: red, green, and blue. Now, why red, green, and blue? It's because these are the primary colors of light. Light comes in waves, and each color has its own wavelength. Red has the longest wavelength, green is in the middle, and blue has the shortest. Our photoreceptors can detect these wavelengths and react to them. But what happens when more than one type of photoreceptor is activated? Well, the signals from these cells mix together and are sent to our brain. The brain then combines them to create all the colors we see. For example, if both red and green photoreceptors are triggered, we see yellow. It's amazing how our brain works as a natural color mixer. No, cameras works in a surprisingly similar way. Let me explain. Modern cameras have sensors which are like the retina in your eyes. These sensors are usually made of a material called silicon, which has a special property called the photoelectric effect. What does that mean? Simply put, when light hits the sensor, it knocks tiny particles called electrons loose. This creates a small electric current, and the camera uses this to measure the light. But here's the thing, the sensor by itself doesn't know what color the light is. It only measures brightness. So, how does it capture color? This is where filters come in. On top of the sensor, there's a layer of tiny filters for red, green, and blue light, arranged in a pattern called a Bayer filter. Each filter only lets one specific color of light pass through. For example, a red filter lets only red light reach the sensor underneath it. The same goes for green and blue. When light from a scene hits the camera sensor, the filters separate it into red, green, and blue parts. The camera then measures the brightness of each color in tiny sections of the image. By combining this information, it reconstructs all the color in the scene. It's kind of like how your eyes and brain work together to create the colorful world you see. So that's how colors come alive, both in our eyes and through a camera lens. It's amazing how science replicates nature's brilliance in technology. Our eyes help us to see the world, and cameras help us to preserve it.